Hello, welcome to the University of West London and the College of Nursing, Midwifery and Healthcare. My name's Sharon Elliott and I'm the Head of Pre-Registration Nursing here at the college. I'd like to thank you for your interest in the university and also for your interest in studying to be a nurse here. I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking you through the different options available to you to achieve that goal, and also some more information about the course itself and our expectations of you as a student. So firstly, this slide details the different routes on offer in order to achieve the objective of a registration with the NMC, Nursing Midwifery Council, as a nurse. As you probably are aware, you can study to be a nurse in one of 4 fields: adult, children's nursing, mental health nursing, or learning disabilities nursing. We offer a 3-year B-Nursing Honours programme in all 4 of the fields, and we also offer a 2-year programme, PG DIP or Postgraduate Diploma Nursing, in the 3 fields of adult, learning disability and mental health. And this programme is for people who already hold a degree. Since last year, we've been running a really innovative and exciting new programme known as the MSci. And this is a 4-year programme which at the end leads you to be awarded with a master's degree and also eligibility to register as a nurse in 2 fields, one of which is mental health nursing. And finally, if you are employed in an organisation who's willing to support you as an apprentice, we offer the nurse degree apprenticeship route, which takes 3 years and 3 months, and again is offered in all 4 fields. We expect certain attributes of our nursing students, and in order to ensure that we're taking the right people onto the programme, we do follow a values-based recruitment process. And this is really, as I say, to make sure that we are taking the right people on who are going to make good nurses of the future. And so through this process, we are expecting you to demonstrate that you understand what nursing is about and have some idea of the role of the nurse. In other words, what it is you're aiming to be. And also, we do have an expectation that you have some understanding of the demands of the course, and I'll talk about that in a bit more detail in a minute. So through this recruitment process, we'd be looking for you to demonstrate good communication skills and also some of the values and beliefs that align with the NHS Constitution and the Code. We do, as part of this process, undertake a further testing of maths and English, and this is carried out online and is equivalent to Functional Skills Level 2. On successful completion of this, you'll be invited to the university for an interview. This is a face-to-face interview which takes place with an academic and a clinical nurse, and many of the interviews also will have representation from a service user or a carer. The courses for entry onto the nursing register are all full-time, and this means you really do need to commit to them fully. It's not possible for you to work part-time and study on this programme. You will have 50% of your time is spent in theory and 50% in practice, so you actually will be working in practice alongside registered nurses and other healthcare professionals who will help you develop your skills and knowledge and also assess you in your proficiencies in practice. The other big difference about this programme in terms of other undergraduate programmes is that there is 7 weeks holiday a year, and these dates are fixed. So you are told these weeks at the beginning of the programme, so you'll know exactly when your holiday weeks are, but it isn't possible to change the weeks from those that are set on the course plan. We offer our nursing courses in 2 of our campuses, the West London campus, and we have facilities in Brentford and Ealing, but the majority of your teaching will be at the Brentford campus. And we also offer it out in Berkshire in our Reading campus at Fountain House. That means that if you are based at our London campus, then your practice component of the course will be in placements in and around northwest London. And some of those that we send our students to and that we have arrangements with are listed here. If you choose to study in Reading, then there will be practice placements spread across all of the county of Berkshire, which, as you can see from this slide and this map, is a very long, thin county. And again, some of the organisations that we partner with are listed here on this slide. Now, there are a few things that are important to say about working in practice and studying in practice. First of all, you will be allocated at the beginning of your programme to a learning community, and this will either be in East or West Berkshire if you're based in Reading, or in North West London if you are based at the Brentford and Ealing campuses. Now, it's very important to understand that during your practice placements you will be working a full-time week in practice, and you will have to work a variety of shifts, which means starting early in the morning, sometimes finishing late at night, working night shifts, working weekends and working bank holidays. And I also must stress that your placements must be within our catchment area. In other words, in places that we have learning agreements and partnerships with. So if, for example, you happen to live in East London, it is not possible for you to have placements in East London. Your placements will be in West and North London, and you need to take this into account when considering your application to the University of West London. Now, I think it's really important to be clear from the outset that this course is extremely challenging, and what you're taking on, whilst it reaps huge benefits and rewards, is really not for the faint-hearted. And I say this not to put you off, but because it's very, very important from your point of view and for ours that you know exactly what it is you're taking on at the start of the course. And as detailed on this slide, there is a requirement in order to register at the end with the Nursing and Midwifery Council that you have completed 2,300 hours working in practice and studying in practice. And without evidence of these hours, you cannot register. So this means that any time off that you take, whether you're unwell or something happens in your life, and these things do happen, and it's fine, but you do need to understand that that time has to be made up. One of the other things that's very important about this programme is you must be able to work independently and study independently, but also to work in groups, because a lot of the learning and working is with a variety of different groups of people. And lastly, as I alluded to earlier, it may be necessary for you to travel some distance to your placements, and you need to be prepared for this, as well as working the shifts and the start times and finish times that you might be faced with. Studying nursing at UWL has got a number of benefits. The first one, as you probably have already researched, is that we are very high up in the league tables, and in fact are number one in London for nursing and midwifery. Our teaching is in relatively small groups, and you are known individually and supported throughout by a personal tutor, who is generally the same person throughout your programme. You will have academic staff who also support you in practice, and we employ a wide range of innovative and engaging teaching methods, which includes simulation. Here at UWL, when you start the programme, we will issue you with 4 sets of uniforms, which are provided by the university, and this consists of a tunic and a pair of trousers. The university will also meet the cost of the mandatory occupational health and DBS checks. I mentioned before about our excellent simulation facilities. We have simulation facilities on both sites, and these, you can see pictured here, consist of a variety of simulated clinical environments which are applicable to all 4 fields, but here what we're demonstrating is adult nursing, and this is really to enable students to practice and develop their clinical skills in a very realistic environment and receive feedback on them from their peers, from academic staff and from clinical staff who are working within the simulation centres. And this is a highly valued and very successful component of the programme. We also offer a varied diet of assessment throughout the course, and this is because we recognise that people are good at different things. So some people are very good at exams, other people are better at practical type assessments, some people are very good at writing assignments, and other people prefer to be able to present their work in the form of posters or as a verbal presentation. So all of these types of assessment are available throughout the programme so that everybody has the chance to shine according to their different skills and abilities. So the all-important subject of funding for this programme, currently course fees are £9,250 per year, but the government has recently announced reinstating some financial support for nursing students, and more detail of this is available on our website, and I would suggest that you have a look at that when you've finished with this presentation. So finally, I would just like to thank you again for your interest and your attention. The course that you're planning to apply for is a really exciting and dynamic one. It's one where you'll make friends for life. You will come out of it not only with an academic award but a professional registration. And although, as I've said, it is really hard work, it is worth it, and you will be guaranteed a job at the end. So I look forward to welcoming you in person sometime soon to the university, and wish you all the very best.